YouTube, how's it going? I'm back after day two of the draft, filled with a lot of steals, and I'm going to give you top five winners based on single picks, the five best picks of the draft, and then top five winners of the day in general, combining everybody's picks. So nothing to do with day one. And once the draft's over, I'm going to go team by team, break down each pick of each team, and grade the entire team as a whole by their draft. So don't worry if I don't get to your team here. But good day. Can't wait to go over every single pick in all these rounds after the draft is over. But on to my number five best pick of day two. It's going to go to my guy Jesse Bates to the Bengals. Now, if you guys watch my videos, you know how much I like Jesse Bates. Maybe my favorite player in the draft. He's a playmaker, a game changer at the safety position, can also return kicks. Again, one of my favorite players in the draft, so I had to put him in here. Left some good teams out of this, some good single picks out of this in most drafts that they would make. But on to my number four best pick of day two. Josh Jackson, the corner from Iowa to the Packers. Packers get another corner. But again, this list has nothing to do off day one. But Josh Jackson was my number one corner in the draft because of his ability to attack the ball and intercept it. Another playmaker. So the Packers get a good one here. And it's surprising that it's number four here. Number three is going to Courtland Sutton. You guys know how much I like Courtland Sutton, the wide receiver at SMU. He's my number one receiver in the draft. Just a dominant receiver, can do any of the routes. Got the speed and athleticism for his size. Kind of that bailout receiver. If you just need to throw it up at the last second, end of a game, third down, fourth down, this is your guy. This is the guy that's going to come down and catch the ball. So I love him going to the Broncos with Case Keenum. It's a gift for Keenum. Gift for the Broncos, gift for the fans. Excellent pick. This would have been number one on most day twos of the draft. Number two is going to Harold Landry. Now my number nine player in the draft going to the Titans. Excellent pass rusher. Outside dip move is outstanding. Needs to work on the inside move a little bit, but that's what the NFL is for. That's what NFL coaches are for. The Titans had to consider this guy with their first round pick, and they would have been in my top five winners if this was a first round pick. But they're number two. That's how great. That's how many steals there were on day two of this draft. Number one is going to Darius Geis and the Redskins. Look at this. 59, all the way down at 59. I mean, we heard the reasons why, but I don't care about any of that. The guy can play day one. I think he's going to start. My number 11 player on my big board at pick 59, the Redskins needed a running back. I discussed there was a possibility. We've seen mocks that had Geis going to the Redskins in the first round. So it's mind-blowing stuff. Rookie of the Year candidate if he gets the option. He truly is. So that's number one pick. Single pick. Now we're going to break down the teams by a whole of their entire day two picks. Back to the single best picks. There's other ones I could have involved. I want to mention Cowboys getting Connor Williams, impressive. Giants getting Lorenzo Carter. Bears getting James Daniels. Steelers getting Mason Rudolph. Jags getting Ronnie Harrison. List goes on. But then on to the top five best days. Now this is the most important part. Best day twos for these teams. Number five is going to be the Pittsburgh Steelers getting the two Oklahoma State guys, and of course they got Okafor too. But this is the main focus here is James Washington and Mason Rudolph. Love the Washington pick because he fits their offense perfectly. He's a deep ball specialist, but can bring more to the game as well. Great hands, great speed, can run routes. It just made so much sense after trading Martavis Bryant. It made so much sense. And then they go and grab his quarterback. I think they got Dobbs. I like Dobbs from last year, but I like Rudolph better. Rudolph should be their second string, maybe not this year, but I think he'll be their future starter. It makes so much sense. I mean, these guys got to be thrilled to be on the same team. So they come in at number five. Number four for best day two is going to be the Jags. They get DJ Chark and they get Ronnie Harrison. Ronnie Harrison was actually higher on my board than DJ Chark, but that didn't matter. They got both. DJ Chark, excellent speed receiver. I like the fit in Jacksonville. Really like the fit. Bortles can hit him downfield, and he can do some underneath stuff because of his quickness and speed. And he's 6'2", too. A lot of the speed guys, maybe a little shorter, so that's impressive. And Ronnie Harrison, I don't know how he dropped that far. Excellent pick. Can play in the box, can play safety, too. I mean, they have two current starting safeties, but they're in their 30s, so I mean, he's going to play, too. They lost Colvin in the slot. Ronnie Harrison playing in there, can play in the slot easily, can cover tight ends, can blitz. pick up running backs. It's a great pick. Excellent pick. Number 3 is going to be the Chicago Bears. They get James Daniels and Anthony Miller. James Daniels I had as a first rounder. They come in and get him and Whitehair there, the 2 center/guards. Very interesting. And Daniels was my number 1 of those center/guards. But this class was full of them, of top tier talent in that position. He was my number 1, and he was the 3rd one off the board. So very impressive that they ended up with him. And then Anthony Miller was my number 4 receiver. The Bears, people thought they were done at receiver at the free agency. I disagreed with that. I think they needed another one, and they got one here, a guy that can play slot and outside. I thought they needed another slot and outside for the future. They got 2 for 1 here with Anthony Miller. They did have to trade up for it. I'm never a fan of trading up like future like that, or good picks, but I think it was worth it here. You get James Daniels and you get Anthony Miller. Anthony Miller probably was my biggest riser leading up to the draft the last month, I'd say. So the Bears coming at 3. This would probably be number 1 in most drafts, but again, day 2 was crazy because how crazy day 1 was. It pushed everybody down. Number 2 goes to the Giants. Will Hernandez, Lorenzo Carter, and B.J. Hill. I expected maybe 2 of these guys in the first round. Will Hernandez and Lorenzo Carter. Lorenzo Carter was top 32 on my big board. Excellent player. Can play that outside linebacker position for the Giants. And B.J. Hill was a solid pick at defensive tackle there. So pretty good haul here in these three players. Number one and number 2 is very, very close. I couldn't decide for a while, but number 1 is going to go to the Bengals. Excellent day 2. Look at these players they get. Jesse Bates, I'm bringing him up again. One of my favorite players in the draft. I think he can start day 1 at safety. Sam Hubbard, some viewed as a first rounder. They get him in the 3rd. I thought would go early 2nd. They get him in the 3rd. Another guy that they have plenty of guys on that D line, DN position, edge rush position. But Hubbard has an ability to start day 1. And then Malik Jefferson. That was back-to-back picks, Hubbard and Jefferson. That was excellent back-to-back picks. Malik Jefferson was known as one of the better linebackers in college football for a while. Was known as an easy first round in this draft. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, the combine hit. And something to do with interviews, and he dropped. I mean, the guy's still a late first, early second round talent. We'll say early second, and they get him in the 3rd, down at pick 78. Very impressive. I mean, the Bengals needed linebackers too. They definitely needed linebackers to start. You potentially could have 3 starters right here. 3 starters in day 2. I know other teams got 3 or more starters within the draft in the total so far, but we're talking day 2 here. The Bengals get 3 potential starters. I'm not going to guarantee all of them start, but I like all these guys. All the guys can play football, and it was a good day from the Bengals. Day 1, they got Billy Price. Wasn't the greatest pick, wasn't a terrible pick, but they really stepped it up here in day 2 while you look at my position rankings and draft board. So good day for them. There was plenty of other teams. The Bucks had a good day. Some of the teams that had the best single picks, I was talking about, a lot of those teams had a good day. Cowboys did better today. The Colts and the Browns got a good haul for the future. They didn't quite make the list, but good hauls there. But crazy day 2, mainly because that day 1 started us off. A lot of steals. A lot more guys left. Josh Sweat, I had a first-round grade on. Like, the athleticism that he has. And sometimes those guys have the athleticism, but they don't have the production, so that's why they slip. But he has the production to go along with it. And I don't think the injury should be a concern because it was high school where he had those terrible injuries. So he's been fine ever since for the most part there. So a lot of good guys left. There's more and more. But we'll talk about that another time. Who's going to get the steals tomorrow? Again, we're going to go over everybody's draft after the draft is completed. So stay tuned for all that. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe. Goodbye.